Today we're going to cover factorising. We're going to cover linear factorisation and quadratic. It's going to be quite a quick video. If you are struggling, please feel free to go back and see our GCSE videos just to give yourself a bit of a catch up, and then come back to this when you're feeling confident. Factorising is the opposite of expanding. With factorising, we try and put the expression into brackets. Let's go through a few factorising questions. To factorise this, we're going to find the number common factor of the two terms. So we're just going to look at the numbers 14 and 21. What number goes into both? 7. Then we're going to look at the letter common factor. So we've got x squared and we've got xy. What letter goes into both of them? It's going to be x. So our common factor is going to be 7x. We're going to write this common factor on the outside of the bracket. And we're going to calculate the terms inside of the bracket by dividing the 14x squared and the minus 21xy by the 7x. So 14 divided by 7 is 2, x squared divided by x is x, and then minus 21 divided by 7 is minus 3, and xy divided by x will just leave the y. We have an x squared term, an x term and a number term, so we know we're dealing with quadratics here. So to factorise quadratics, you multiply the x squared term by the number term, which will give us minus 60. And what we need to do is find two numbers that multiply together to make that minus 60 and add together to make the coefficient of the x term, which will be 7. So next we're going to try, minus 6 and 10, they don't add together to make the 7. 3 and minus 20, again, don't add together to make 7. Minus 5 and 12 will add together to make that 7. Next, we're going to split that 7x into minus 5x plus 12x. And we're going to factorise the first two terms and the last two terms as a linear factorisation. So what does 4x squared and minus 5x have in common? Well, no numbers, but they both have an x. So we're going to have an x on the outside of the bracket there. And 12x minus 15x, well, 12 and 15 are both in the 3 times table, so they'll both have a 3 in common. The terms on the outside of the bracket will make our first bracket for the quadratic. So the x and the plus 3 will make our first bracket of x plus 3. Then the repeated bracket will make our second bracket. And there we go. We've fully factorised that quadratic. All the terms here have a common factor of x, so let's factorise the x out. And then we're just left with the quadratic inside the bracket. So when we factorise that, we've got x and then x plus 6 and then x plus 7. Final thought for this topic, can you factorise every expression? Write an expression that you think cannot be factorised. If you can think of one, write it in the comments below. And come to onmaths.com or click the link in the description. You can access all of our A-level papers and A-level predictions for free, and you can even save your scores with a free account. This video is part of a larger A-level course that you can follow along with at onmaths.com.